law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. John F. Kennedy. Life does not wait for permission to move. Seasons change. Circumstances shift, and whether we like it or not, we are constantly being pulled into new directions. The real question is not whether change will happen. It is whether you will be ready to shift when it comes. To shift means to reposition, to realign, to move from one state to another. And though the shift may be uncomfortable, it is always necessary. Every transformation begins with a shift. Think about your life today. The things you've outgrown, the doors that have closed, the opportunities you've hesitated to take. Those are all signs that a shift is calling your name. The shift often begins with discomfort, that uneasy feeling you can't shake, that inner restlessness telling you there's more, that quiet whisper that says you were made for something greater. But here's the truth. Most people ignore that whisper. They stay where it feels safe. They cling to what they know. They avoid the shift because they fear what's on the other side. Fear is the anchor that keeps people stuck in place. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Yet every breakthrough in history required someone to shift in spite of fear. The shift does not ask you if you are ready. It simply requires you to trust that you will figure it out along the way. You don't have to have all the answers to take the first step. You just need faith. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward even when fear is screaming the loudest. Faith is saying, I don't know how this will work out, but I know I can't stay where I am. When you shift, you unlock new levels of yourself that you never knew existed. Strengths you didn't know you had. Courage you thought you lost. Creativity you buried under years of doubt. And the beauty of the shift is this: once you make it, the old you cannot survive in the new space. That version of you, the one who was afraid, the one who was uncertain, that person gets left behind. Shifting requires letting go. You cannot grab hold of your future while clinging to your past. The tighter you hold on to what's gone, the harder it is to reach for what's ahead. Sometimes the shift is forced. Life closes doors, relationships end, jobs disappear, and suddenly you're left with no choice but to move. But even then, the shift is not a punishment. It's a redirection. Other times, the shift is subtle, a quiet nudge, a recurring thought, an opportunity that keeps showing up. If you ignore it too long, life will intensify the pressure until you can't avoid it anymore. The question is, will you recognize when it's time to shift? Or will you resist, fighting to hold onto a version of life that no longer serves you? Let me be clear. The shift is never convenient. It rarely comes at the right time, but the right time is not when you feel comfortable. The right time is when destiny calls. When you decide to shift, you give yourself permission to grow. You step out of the box that others tried to keep you in. You silence the doubts and take a stand for your future. But don't expect everyone to applaud your shift. Some people will resist it because it threatens their comfort. Your growth will remind them of the work they've avoided. Some will try to talk you out of it. They'll call you crazy. They'll tell you it's too risky. They'll project their fears onto your journey because your shift exposes their stagnation. But the shift is not for them. It's for you. Your future depends on your willingness to move, even if no one else understands. You were not created to play small. You were not placed on this earth to settle. The shift is the bridge between your current limitations and your unlimited potential. So what shift do you need to make? Is it in your mindset, your career, your relationships, your health, your faith? Be honest with yourself. Where have you been stuck? Because the moment you identify the area where you've been stagnant, you also identify the place where your next shift must occur. The shift is not just about what you left behind. It's about what you gain. New opportunities, new connections, new perspectives. When you shift, you inspire others. Your courage gives them permission to consider their own possibilities. Your boldness reminds them that change is possible. This is why the shift is not selfish. In fact, it's necessary. Your evolution is connected to someone else's breakthrough. Think about it. Every leader, every innovator, every trailblazer made a shift. They stepped away from the ordinary and embraced the extraordinary. They shifted their beliefs. They shifted their environments. They shifted their actions. And because of that, they changed the world. And you too have the power to create ripples of change. But it begins with your willingness to shift. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for every detail to make sense. The shift begins with a decision. A decision to stop settling. A decision to start believing. A decision to move forward in faith, even when the path is uncertain. You owe it to yourself to shift. You owe it to your future. You owe it to the dreams that have been planted in your heart. Because if you don't, you'll spend your life wondering, what if? What if I had taken that risk? What if I had trusted myself? What if I had made the shift? Regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches you lessons. Regret keeps you stuck in the prison of if only. So, even if the shift doesn't go as planned, even if you stumble, even if you fall, at least you will know that you tried. And more often than not, you'll find that the fall wasn't the end. It was the foundation of something greater. The shift is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about becoming more aligned with who you truly are. Each shift takes you closer to your destiny. Each shift strengthens your resilience. Each shift reveals your true power. And the truth is, the shift never stops. As long as you are alive, you will be called to evolve, to grow, to expand. Every season of your life will demand a new shift, and every shift will demand a new version of you. So embrace it. Welcome it. See it not as an obstacle, but as an invitation to rise. Because the moment you stop shifting is the moment you stop living. Life is too short to stay the same. Too short to settle. Too short to ignore the call to change. So today, I challenge you, make the shift. Take the step. Embrace the unknown. Trust that your future is waiting on the other side. And when you do, you will discover that the shift was never about losing. It was always about gaining the life you were meant to live. You've got this. Peace and blessings, Dr. O.